Cattle panel trellis. Alright guys, I am Liv with Live Life Outdoors and I am in South Central Pennsylvania, roughly zone 6A, 6B. I wanted to start styling these videos a little bit differently, have them be longer and more informational for you. So today I am sharing how I trellis. Someone had a question about this. They wanted to see the setup and have it explained, and I thought that was a really great idea. So I have cattle panels that are set up with T-posts. So this post down here runs all the way to this point. So that is 16 feet of growing space. That is quite a bit of growing space. So for the tomatoes, I usually have 2 spaces in between. I do grow very close together, and I always start at least one in off of the end of a panel. So if I did that, and the things are just spaced differently this time because I have a plant on the back side, but if I did just tomatoes on this, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, roughly 12 tomato plants on a 16-foot cattle panel. That's a lot of growing space. So that could be, half tomatoes, half peppers. And then in the front here, I still have room because it is great to give peppers support. So you could put those on the panel if you wanted, but you could keep the peppers in the front, utilize some tomato cages for those, and then put beans on the back. You could put cucumbers, zucchini. But for this cattle panel, it has 3 T-posts. So the best way to do this, because we've tried moving them to different spots, but I do, not counting this one, 1, 2, 3 rungs in, and do the same thing on the other side, and then try to get this one as in the middle as you can. These are, I believe, 6.5-foot T-posts. They are the heavy duty ones. So the cattle panel runs about $35 depending on your location. T-posts run around $12 for the heavy duty taller ones. And then they are just held together with zip ties. Is that an upfront cost? That's a little bit on the hefty side. Yeah, it is. But to me, this is a budget trellis because it's going to last me year after year after year. This particular trellis is one of the first ones, so it's going into its 3rd year now. I didn't have these my first year, so this would be the 3rd year, and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't take these out of the bed, I just leave them there. The only thing that I would caution is when you are purchasing the T-posts, to make sure that you get those where they're inside and protected. Those do accumulate rust, whereas the cattle panel doesn't. So I get the cattle panel from Tractor Supply. I don't get T-posts from them because they are sitting outside rusting already. I don't need a product that's already rusting, especially in a place that is rather damp. So that's something I do caution against. But that is a 16-foot cattle panel. Then we have another one, so starts next to that one, goes all the way down to the end. This is my bed that is roughly 50 foot long. So I do have a space at the end that does not have trellis. I use that for things that just don't require it. And then someone asked me, why am I seeing double? Because I saw this shot right here. And that's because I do have this arched cattle panel. It is the same type of cattle panel here. It has just been arched over. They do bend pretty easily. And the arches are only held up with 1 T-post on each side. So this one's just in the middle here, and then same thing. And to get these T-posts in the ground, you are going to need a T-post driver. If you do not have great upper body strength, I highly recommend splurging on the more expensive one because it's lighter. So if that's an issue, definitely put in that extra money for the one that's lighter, because I did get the heavier one. My boyfriend did these for me and I can barely hold that thing over my head. So that's something to think about when you do that. But once you have that T-post driver, that means you could do a lot of projects. So yeah, this is a another 16-foot cattle panel, so we have roughly 8 feet in the middle. We have more because it's in a raised bed. And then we have another one here. So how I utilize these is down here, I'm gonna grow on the inside. If I plant anything in the middle, it is only gonna be flowers. You can see that I do have a flower right there. That way they attract pollinators, but it's not making it difficult for me to harvest things. And then on this side, I have beans on the back side. So that's how I utilize this space. And then on this part, that's free, so I can plant things in front of it as well. So that is how I have that set up for this bed. And then over here, this is my roughly 40-foot bed. Again, it's the arches coming across from the other side. We have